Right now, in the dog days of summer, we share essential tips on how to keep your furry friends safe during these hot temperatures.
Plus, as the temperatures rise in the area, how local firefighters are preparing to face these sweltering conditions. And a potential UPS strike called off after the company and Teamsters reach an agreement on a new contract. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Well, a good day to be at the lake, the river, really any body of water you can find. Temperatures around southern Wisconsin have started getting quite hot and humid this week, shaping up to be the hottest of the summer, at least so far. Just how hot could it get? That's the answer meteorologist Jacob Montesano has in the first warn forecast. Jacob?
Yeah, the hottest temperatures will be on Thursday. We're looking at highs possibly in the mid-90s with heat index values close to 100. But right now, we are seeing pretty comfortable temperatures. It was hot earlier in the day. Right now, 81 degrees. A lot of places already dropping into the 70s. But looking at the high temperatures from today, we did see a lot of places in the lower 90s. And we also had dew points in the 60s, so the heat index values were in the mid to upper 90s. Definitely uncomfortable, especially in the sun. And we also haven't really seen a lot of wind to kind of cool things off, although when it gets this warm, the wind actually hurts. Now, if we look at the current radar, pretty dry across Wisconsin, some showers near Green Bay, but off to our north and west, we do have some storms across the Dakotas and Minnesota. This rain will move into our area during the overnight hours and impact us late overnight and into early tomorrow morning. Now, because of this rainfall, temperatures tomorrow aren't expected to be quite as hot as initially expected, but Thursday, there's really nothing stopping the heat from really rising during the day. I'll talk more about that a little bit later, but first, here's a look at the low temperature forecast for tonight. It is going to be a mild night with lows around 70. Storms late, probably going to clear out by around noon tomorrow, dry for the afternoon. Now, I'll have more details on the forecast coming up later in the show.
Firefighting is a difficult job for the men and women battling the extreme heat from fires. Add in the current heat wave and it can make for some serious risk of heat stroke. Fire departments in southern Wisconsin are taking steps to prevent their crews from succumbing to the conditions. One measure Madison's fire department is doing is to provide Gatorade and water to its firefighters to keep them safe and healthy. Its assistant chief says its staff also take frequent breaks to avoid adverse health risks.
We'll pull a crew out when it's hot. They'll expend their bottle, and then they'll come out and do rehab where they typically in this heat will find a shady place. They'll strip some of their turnout gear off, put new bottles on and ready to go back in, and some of that will be the intake of fluids to make sure that they stay cool.
In Rock County, the Janesville Fire Department is doing the same for its new recruitment training. Its deputy chief telling us the more than 50 pounds of gear the crews wear makes for tough conditions no matter the time of year. So it's easy for us to beat the heat by staying indoors, but some of our furry friends just want to get outside and use up all of their energy.
That's right. And that's why it's up to us to monitor, of course, how long they're out in the heat. And other cooling tips our Armand Rahman set out to dig up.
If you're going to be hot, your pet's going to be very hot too.
But dogs in particular get cold feet if they don't get moving outside.
There's a big difference if I don't take him somewhere and give him something to do or sniff or see his friends, then he's pretty antsy at night.
So Dane County Humane Society officials say it's important to limit your pet's time in excessive heat.
Instead of 2 hours, I do about 1 hour.
Our pups literally can't tell us when they're getting overheated, but hot dog is a language you can learn through the signs of heat stroke.
Excessive panting, they're going to be vomiting, they're going to be lethargic, they could end up having seizures. Seizures would be on the more extreme case.
Our meteorologists say as temps climb past 90 degrees this week, the pavement will roast, getting between 140 to 150 degrees. So it's less painful in the grass, or at least in the shade.
Because they don't have fur on their paws, it's skin, so it's going to burn them.
Dog owners say it's important to get their dogs to cool off at dog parks like Warner Park with some nice water. And at Warner, they're paying it forward to other pups. Oh, man. Give him the hoe.
I have a cooler with water, and this is nice ice-cold water. And a lot of people bring, extra water so that we can, at least have something for them to drink.
But even savvy dog owners like these know this week may eventually get too doggone hot to be outside safely.
I thought we'd just get out one more time before it gets even worse.
In Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
With more hot weather expected the rest of the week, cooling centers around southern Wisconsin are beginning to open to give people a place to get out of the heat. Here's a look at just some of the cooling centers open in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Beloit, but more are available. To find the cooling center closest to you, just search for this story on channel3000.com.
Well, with this hot weather persisting, Public Health Madison-Dane County reminding you to stay cool and hydrated. Temps in the mid-90s are expected for later in the week, so those who spend extended period of time outdoors, they can suffer from heat stroke or exhaustion if they're not careful. If you do have to be outdoors, make sure you have a water bottle and are actually taking drinks from it. Staying hydrated in the heat, they say, is key, and that seems obvious. Well, it's supposed to.
You know, some of this advice we're giving is common sense things, you know, like if you're hot, cool yourself down, you know, like drink water if you're feeling dehydrated. It's not revolutionary ideas, but they're important.
And the best ways to treat heat stroke and heat exhaustion is to cool that person down. Don't give them fluids, they say, but sponging with cool water, they say, can be quite effective. We've learned one of the 3 Marines found dead inside a vehicle Sunday in North Carolina was from Verona. 19-year-old Marine Corps Lance Corporal Tanner Kaltenberg was found unresponsive in a vehicle with 2 Marines in Hampstead, North Carolina. He had been on active duty since May of 21, serving at Camp Lejeune. Authorities are waiting on results of autopsies to determine how those 3 Marines died. A tentative deal on a new contract has been struck by UPS and the Teamsters, possibly avoiding a strike that would start next Monday.
If that were to happen, it would likely cripple U.S. supply chains. To end the threat of a strike altogether, the tentative agreement still needs to be ratified by Teamsters union members, which could take several weeks. A no vote could still trigger a strike, but it would now take place in late August. Teamsters president says UPS is putting up $30 billion in new money as a result of negotiations, which includes wage increases for both full and part-time workers, something employees are pleased to hear.
This is good. This is a start. I mean, the language is there, but if everything they said is true, we're happy about it.
UPS's CEO characterized the deal as a, quote, win-win-win agreement, but the full details of that agreement have not been made public.
An attorney for the man charged with murdering 4 Idaho college students says prosecutors will receive information about his alibi. They say he wasn't at that location where the crimes took place last November, but have provided no evidence or details about where else he might have been. Koberger is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, accused of stabbing 4 students to death in their off-campus Moscow home. He's pleaded not guilty. His attorneys dispute DNA evidence linking Brian Koberger to those murders. Back here in southern Wisconsin, a 64-year-old Madison father accused of killing his 25-year-old son during an argument over money did so apparently over just 25 cents. That's according to Dane County court documents. John Shively is charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the shooting death of his son Zachary. Happened at a residence on Warner Street on Madison's south side. A criminal complaint alleges John gave Zachary $2. Zachary then became upset, insisting he needed 25 cents more. He told investigators his son then hit him and pushed him into a corner. They say that's when he grabbed a gun and shot Zachary. When asked why he shot, he allegedly said there was no logical thought behind it, and he wanted the confrontation to stop. A court commissioner set Shively's bond at $300,000.
Madison police say they've arrested an 18-year-old man in connection to a Southside shooting over the weekend that sent an 18-year-old to the hospital. The suspected shooter was taken into custody after police served a search warrant at a Fitchburg home on High Ridge Trail. Authorities say they responded to a shooting shortly before 5:30 Sunday night on Coho Street and believe it was targeted. The 18-year-old suspect faces a potential charge of attempted homicide. He's in jail awaiting his first court appearance tomorrow. Police in Lodi say 2 teenage boys led them on a chase overnight, reaching speeds of more than 100 miles an hour. An officer saw a vehicle speeding on Water Street with no visible taillights around 3:30 this morning. A traffic stop was attempted, but the driver wouldn't pull over. This led to a pursuit, which ended when the vehicle crashed in a construction zone near I-3990. 2 people ran from the vehicle. Later, both were arrested at a home in Madison. Officers say a 16-year-old girl was found in the vehicle with a minor injury. She was taken to the hospital.
Looking ahead to next Monday, when 2 blocks along Atwood Avenue will close for construction. An ongoing project in that area is allowing crews to install water mains, sanitary, and storm sewers. The road will be fully closed between Fair Oaks and Oak Ridge and Sugar Avenue starting Monday at 7 in the morning. Residents needing to access their properties can use Ludington Avenue, Welch Avenue, Center Avenue, or Garrison Avenue. Those looking to access Old Brick Gardens or Old Brick Park's boat launch there will have to use Walter Street. You want to watch your speed tomorrow? Officers, sheriff deputies, and state patrol will all be out to enforce speed limits and also to educate people about the dangers of speeding. It's all part of Speed Awareness Day. In Dane County, nearly 24 local law enforcement agencies will take part in this initiative. A new poll shows former President Donald Trump is maintaining his big lead over the rest of the 2024 GOP presidential candidates.
The national poll from Monmouth University surveyed Republican and Republican-leaning registered voters. When asked who they would like to see as the nominee, 46% named Trump. 20% say they back Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The rest of the GOP candidates were even further behind Trump, with all of them garnering only single-digit support. 45% of those polled also said Trump would be the strongest Republican nominee to run against President Biden in the general election. The poll is not a qualifying poll for the upcoming RNC debate in Milwaukee next month. More stories straight ahead at 10.
The White House honors Emmett Till and his mother with a national monument. How 3 sites will tell their story and their role in sparking the civil rights movement. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
We're busy. I get it. So Stanton Optical works with your schedule. Buy online, pick up in store same day, and get a free fitting. I mean, look at my to-do list. Skip the wait. Get your kids' glasses made the same day, only at Stanton Optical.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Choose Flex Buy on a 2023 Ford Bronco Sport and get 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $500 Flex Buy cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Skyrizi is the first and only IL-23 inhibitor for Crohn's that can deliver both clinical remission and endoscopic improvement. The majority of people on Skyrizi achieve long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
How can anyone love a cat more than a dog?
Because cats are adorable.
Debatable.
Did you get that GIF I sent you?
Oh, the GIF?
Yeah, I definitely sent you a GIF.
What is the point of decaf coffee? When you don't want to have the jitters. Then just don't drink coffee.
It's pronounced GIF.
I like window seats.
But if the window breaks, you get sucked out.
Hybrid, plug-in hybrid, EV. To each their own, electric. Get offers on select vehicles at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Lease the 2023 ES300 Hybrid for $589 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment.
At Stanton Optical, you get great value on eye care, including contacts. Right now, get a 1-year supply of AccuView Oasis and an eye exam for only $189. Scan now to book your eye exam. Yay, technology.
Kevin Nealon is drop dead hilarious.
I've been doing a lot of memorials, and you know what? I kill it.
And who's the best cook? Did I just start beef between the ladies of Escape? Me, baby.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Emmett Till and his mother will get a new national monument in their honor after signing a ceremony by President Biden today. The 14-year-old's brutal murder in 1955 is credited with helping spur the civil rights movement.
And so is his mother's decision to hold an open casket funeral, showing the world her son's mangled body. President Biden's move to create the monument falls on what would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday.
I just, I know no matter how much time has passed, how many birthdays, how many events, how many anniversaries, it's hard to relive this.
The monument is set to have locations in Till's home state of Illinois and also in Mississippi, where he was killed. From eczema to hay fever, kids with allergic conditions might be on track to develop others down the road.
Researchers looked at the electronic medical records of nearly 220,000 children in the U.S. who were screened between 1999 and 2020. The results showed a trend referred to as the allergic march, a natural progression of allergy-related diseases from infancy through childhood at the largest scale yet. Eczema is first in line with its telltale rashes and dry patches popping up in over 10% of children studied, usually around 4 months of age. Then at around 13 months old, the study found peak onsets of food allergies and asthma in young kids. At a little over 2 years old, the researchers found high rates of hay fever. According to the CDC, more than 1 in 4 children have eczema or an allergy.
NBA star LeBron James' son Bronny is in the hospital after suffering cardiac arrest during basketball practice. A family spokesperson says the 18-year-old is out of intensive care now and in stable condition. According to the statement, Bronny's heart suddenly stopped beating at a University of Southern California practice. He's an incoming freshman for the USC basketball team.
Actors and their supporters came out in force for a SAG-AFTRA rally in New York's famed Times Square earlier today. More than 160,000 performers in the U.S. are on strike. Contract negotiations with studios and streaming services have stalled over pay increases, residual payments, and concerns over the use of artificial intelligence in productions. Actor Wendell Pierce, best known for his performance in HBO's The Wire, was one of many in attendance today.
When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. We are on the right side of history. And I come here not only as an actor, but more importantly, a union man.
Nearly all production in the U.S. has been halted. The Writers Guild of America is also on strike. This is the first time in more than 60 years both unions have been on strike at the same time.
There's been a slight price hike to your Spotify subscription. Subscribers of Spotify's ad-free premium plan will pay $1 more per month for unlimited music streaming. That's from $9.99 to $10.99. The cost for Spotify's other tiers, like its family and student plans, will also go up by $1. Spotify says the price hikes will help continue to deliver value to both artists and fans on the platform. It'll continue to offer a free user plan, which includes ads and limited features. A grad student at UW-Milwaukee is spending their time working toward a freshwater sciences degree.
But when they're away from the lecture hall, they work as a professional mermaid. Echo says that entails teaching children about inclusion, aquatic safety, and conservation through a special multi-day mermaid class certified by the Professional Association of Diving Instructors. Echo began their business at 17, and since then, the seasoned pro mermaid and lifeguard has seen the endeavor grow each year. Well, Jacob's back with the first WARN forecast. Mermaid, human, doesn't matter. Being in the water sounds pretty good for this week.
I was going to say the same thing. That's not just the temperatures, but that story really makes me want to jump in the water. It's only going to get worse towards the end of the week. Now, it's really not going to last very long, but that's the good news. But when it does hit, which is kind of hitting now, but the peak of it will be on Thursday, it's going to feel very uncomfortable, and that is really the big story of the 3 things you need to know. But we also could see some patchy fog, and we do have a few chances of storms, specifically late tonight, as well as Friday and Saturday towards the end of the week. Now, looking at the forecast, we are going to see some showers and storms moving to our area from the northwest. It does look like the heaviest will stay to the north of Madison, but it is possible we could see some storms as far south as northern Illinois. Still a bit unclear how these storms are going to form, but it does look like most of it will clear out of our area by the late afternoon, evening, maybe a pop-up shower or storm for eastern counties, but for the most part, we aren't expected to see a lot of rain afternoon tomorrow. Now, as far as the precipitation forecast, this is very subject to change. It all depends on where these storms fire, but possibly up to an inch, maybe even more than an inch, as some of these storms do produce some heavy rainfall. There is a slight chance that some of these storms could be severe. It is the early morning hours, so if they are severe, they will likely be the bottom tier of severe criteria, but still going to see some heavy rain at times for parts of our area. Looking a bit further towards the end of the week, we do have a good chance of some showers and storms for Friday afternoon, and some of those storms could last into Saturday as well. By the time we get to Saturday afternoon, though, it does look like we are going to see dry conditions for the most part, but still a bit unclear since this is still several days out. As far as temperatures, We've been talking about that as the big story. Highs will be in the upper 80s tomorrow. That rain may keep things down a bit, but it's going to be very humid, so the heat index values will likely be in the mid-90s. And then for Thursday, there's really nothing stopping the heat. You know, the last couple of days, the wildfire smoke has helped keep temperatures down. Tomorrow, the rain will keep temperatures down a bit. For Thursday, it's going to be very sunny, very hot, and the skies for the most part are going to be clear. We could see heat index values up near 100, possibly up to 105 at the very max, but my guess is we'll mostly stay in this 90 to 105 degree range, which is the extreme caution range with heat-related illnesses possible. Down here in the orange, that is the danger level. If we are in that danger level, it will only be very briefly, but we're going to be around that, I would say, 95 to 100 degree heat index for much of the afternoon on Thursday. So a few tips to keep you safe during the heat. The biggest one up top, stay hydrated and take frequent breaks from outside. Also, if you are outside, wear light colored clothes because white clothes especially can reflect the sun, whereas black clothes absorb it. And then check on the elderly and pets. Obviously, do not leave any pets unattended inside cars. And if you are taking them for a walk, try and keep them on the grass. If we look at the 7-day forecast, after the rain moves through for Friday and Saturday, temperatures are going to be a lot better for the weekend with highs in the lower 80s. We are going to be dry for much of next week with temperatures near average. For the most part, next week is looking like what we have been most of the summer, near average, but pretty dry. So the good news with this heat wave, it's not going to last very long, but Thursday especially, it is going to be pretty hot, so definitely prepare.
And coming up in sports, the Brewers needed some late-inning magic against the Reds. Would anybody besides Christian Yelich come up big in the batter's box? Find out next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains, designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
I suffer with psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis. I was on a journey for a really long time to find some relief. Cosentyx works for me.
Cosentyx helps real people get real relief from the symptoms of psoriatic arthritis or psoriasis. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen.
I move so much better because of Cosentyx.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans. I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit VRAPWI.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Choose Flex Buy on a 2023 Ford Bronco Sport and get 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $500 Flex Buy cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
The Brewers had to be feeling pretty good about themselves heading into Game 2 against the Reds. They had a 1.5 game lead on them in the standings, and Corbin Burns is on the bump. His last 2 outings, 0 runs, 23 strikeouts, and 2 wins. Ninth inning now, Brewers down 4-0 and down to the last out. Christian Yelich gives them some life. His 3-run bomb cuts the lead to 1. This one still in the 9th. Actually, they just lost 4-3 is your final. Now, there's no easy way to say this, so we're going to just rip off the Band-Aid. Jim Leonard is joining Brett Bielema's staff and will serve as a senior football analyst for the Illinois football team. The former Wisconsin defensive coordinator becomes the 4th former Badger to team up with the Illini, joining Aaron Henry, Antonio Finellis, and Bielema, who actually coached Leonard during his senior season at UW. The Badgers will travel to Illinois to face the Illini on October 21st. Speaking of Wisconsin football, for the 4th straight year, the Badgers are picked to win the Big Ten West. They edged out Iowa by 1 vote for the top spot. Minnesota, Illinois, and Nebraska round out the top 5. Remember, UW hasn't won the West since 2019. Michigan is the favorite to not only win the East, but the entire Big Ten this season. It's training camp eve in Green Bay as the Packers are gearing up for their training camp. They kick that off tomorrow. Today, all the veterans reported to 1265 Lombardi Avenue. And those vets, they're relatively young when we're talking about experience. Mainly a new starting quarterback, Jordan Love. As far as what it feels like leading up to tomorrow compared to the other seasons, well, Matt LaFleur says it's like his first year in Titletown.
It feels like year one, quite frankly. It feels like, you know, we're right back where we started when I first got hired here, and that's exciting. I think there's a lot of excitement that goes along with that, and we're going to coach these guys hard, and we expect them to show up with a great attitude every day and give everything they can.
And DeForest Anna Stepaniak capped off her senior season on the track in the best way possible. 2 individual titles and a team championship. That performance at state helped her earn Wisconsin's Gatorade Girls Track and Field Athlete of the Year honors, and in turn, a $1,000 grant to give back to the next generation. Her choice was an easy one, the Bolts Track Club, where her love for the sport began.
Kind of just like where my love for the sport kind of took off, because it kind of just started off as just like a cool thing to do in the summer, but I knew that I really liked track and field, and I feel like Sun Prairie was where it really like took off. Knew I wanted it to go to track because that's kind of what I was recognized for, and this is just a perfect opportunity.
We're back after this.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Lean back and enjoy the summer savings at the Century House. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless seating. The more you spend, the more you can save instantly. So furnish an entire room with the most comfortable seating in the world and watch the savings add up. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on select popular Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. Plus, make no monthly payments for 90 days. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Wish you had help getting things done. Same.
So I got Spectrum One.
As fast internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi, all for a great price. Want it? Here's the number.
Call 833-784-4999 to get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest download speeds in the nation.
Which helps me run all of this easily. Kids checkups? Scheduled. Work? Bust. Treat dispenser? Treating. And since I'm always on this, unlimited mobile is a no-brainer. Work.
Switch to Spectrum One. 300 megabit internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security.
Spectrum One. Gets it done.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi, and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Call 833-784-4999. Visit Spectrum.com or stop by a store today.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes! Everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota. Let's go places.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now.
Well, a new flavor is joining Skittles Rainbow. The candy shell's color is yellow, but instead of a lemon flavor, this is a mustard flavor. Skittles has partnered with French's to make a mustard-flavored Skittle.
This collaboration is in celebration of National Mustard Day, which is August 5th. Now, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the new Skittle will only be available at French's Mustard Mobile in select cities. But if you really want the chance to try it out, maybe sprinkle some Skittles on your brat, you can enter an online sweepstakes for the chance to have mustard-flavored Skittles sent directly to your home.
I was going to say, I feel like some people might be pretty upset by that, but when you said it was only for, what was it, one day?
Yeah, National Mustard
Day. That makes more
Day,
sense.
So order them to your home, folks. If you want those. Final check, Jacob.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hot. Not necessarily tomorrow. Still humid and warm tomorrow, but Thursday is the day that is the big concern with sunshine, 90s, and humid temperatures, but much better by the weekend and next week.
All right, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.